Good evening, everybody. Ollamh here, and today I wanted to talk to you about action versus reaction. It's something that I've been noticing more and more lately that's honestly a little troubling. Now, particularly in the United States, we like to think of ourselves as people of action. We're doers, we're builders, we make the things, we do the things, we are doers. But lately, particularly with the invention of social media and the popularity of social media, we have become reactors. We don't really take actions to inform ourselves or really do anything other than reacting to something that we are told right then and there. Now, I'm going to give you 3 examples of situations where people are reacting to something without really being informed and without going through the actions of figuring out what the hell is actually going on. Now, the first instance happened a month ago. With the travel ban that President Trump put in place, the New York Taxi Association went on strike. Now, you may remember this because all of a sudden that weekend, the hashtag Delete Uber came about and was just trending like mad. Everybody was wanting to get rid of Uber because Uber was still taking rides, was still providing rides to the airports. Now, a lot of people were delete Uber, go with Lyft instead. The problem is nobody did the research and say, hey, Lyft is providing rides as well. They are still making money off of this. Now, Lyft went ahead and said, hey, we're going to donate $1 million to the ACLU, which is great. But how much did they make that weekend by still providing rides? Especially once people started saying delete Uber. And of course, all the newspaper agencies and stuff went with Uber and said, oh, look, Uber's still providing rides even though the strike. And the question is why did they pick on Uber? Why didn't anybody report that, hey, Lyft is also providing rides? Well, the reason for that is Uber is a bigger company. They're a more well-known company. They are the company that will get the information read, that will get people to click on that article. And a lot of people were seeing headlines or seeing the articles and saying, well, Uber's just a horrible thing, so delete Uber grew in intensity. And like I said, Lyft did the exact same thing as Uber. The only difference is they said, hey, well, we're going to donate some money to the ACLU. I'm sure it was less than what they actually raked in, but hey, they donated money, so they're the good guys, right? Now, the second one is kind of YouTube news. This is, I'm sure as many of you have heard, PewDiePie has been dropped by Maker Studio and Disney. His show on YouTube Red has been canceled. The second season has been canceled. They've dropped him off of the Google Premium advertisement service, which means he's not automatically assumed to be advertiser and family friendly. Newsflash, he never actually was. But that's really come about, and particularly for a couple of videos. Now, one of them was the Fiverr video where he paid a lot of people and contacted a lot of people as far as, hey, we want to, I want you to do X, Y, Z and see if people would actually do it. Of course, the big one was a couple of kids unraveling a piece of paper that had some very anti-Semitic words written on it. Everybody's looking at this and saying, oh, he's an anti-Semite, he's a neo-Nazi, he's a white supremacist, he's all these things, blah, 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 blah. That's how the news agencies present it. And I personally know a lot of people that are reacting to that and sharing that and spreading it around, and they've never seen the video. They've never seen any of his videos. Now, I don't particularly care for his videos. I don't like the way he used to do things, which was you have to have a catchphrase, you have to have, you have to go through as many catchphrases per video as you can. I don't like that type of video. I don't like that type of presentation. I've never been a PewDiePie fan. But I've watched the video and I watched his reaction, and even some of the news articles that have clips of his different videos don't present it properly. They show that, they kind of show his reaction, and then they cut to him what they claim is making excuses of saying, I didn't think they would do that. But that took a lot. There was a significant amount of time between when he saw that they actually did it and his response to, I didn't think they'd actually do that. I feel partially responsible and such. And of course, they also bring up the satirical video about the YouTube heroes and how, oh yes, they're, Nazi propaganda and, oh hey, we're going to shut everybody we don't like down and stuff like that. These same news articles don't bring up the fact that somebody actually redid and remade the YouTube Heroes announcement video with honest-to-goodness Nazi imagery. They don't bring that up. They don't say, oh, well, he's not the only one. These people did it, and these people did it. And a lot of people were comparing the YouTube Heroes announcement to fascist regimes. But all the news articles say, well, he's a white supremacist, he's anti-Semitic and stuff like that, and people react to that without actually seeing the video itself. So, and everybody wants to be a part of this and wants to react. So what do they do? They denounce PewDiePie, they blast him on every social media imaginable, and they share that article as proof. And this is what the news agencies in particular want. They want you to be outraged, they want a knee-jerk, visceral reaction, and they want you to share their article at the same time to show that, well, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is bad. Why? Because then they're going to say, well, is it really that bad? And they click on it, and guess what? The news agencies get paid. They are wanting you to react to it rather than actually do independent action and independent research. Now, the third topic that I'm going to bring up, the third example of reacting without acting, is actually an old story that's been making the rounds yet again. This has been showing up on Facebook a lot. It's basically a don't flash your headlights at cars that are driving around at night without their lights on. Because it's a gang initiation, and the first car that flashes their lights, this group of gangsters has to go up, follow them, and kill everybody in the car in order to be initiated into the Bloods. Now, 5 minutes, just 5 minutes of research, 5 minutes of action will tell you that this is bullshit. First and foremost, it has Chubb Electronic Security on it. Now, that is an actual company that is exclusively in Australia. The second thing is the header, which states that it's in South Africa. Chubb Electronic Security has no offices in South Africa whatsoever. And the third part that proves that it is fake, proves that it is a hoax, is the fact that it clearly states that it is the Bloods that are doing this as an initiation rite. The Bloods are based exclusively in North America. They have chapters in the United States and a couple in Canada. So what does this all mean? 5 minutes of research gave me that information. What does this mean? It means that we have supposedly an exclusively Australian company sending a letter to somebody in South Africa about a North American gang. None of it adds up. Not only that, but this story has been going around for decades. The first time that it was actually stated as the Bloods was in 1993, I do believe. But it was actually older than that and had appeared in the 80s, stating that it was the Hells Angels. Now, this specific wording and this specific memo, I suppose you'd call it, actually originated on September 1st, 2009. That was how in this setup, in this wording, in this phrasing from this company, this is when this image was originally first released. At least as far as I could tell. That was the first instance that I was able to find it based on the telephone number. So the question is, what do you do? Do you react or do you take action? Taking action means that you, at least in this scenario, means that you actually do research and you know what you are talking about. You know what they are saying. You know how they are trying to manipulate you into merely reacting. Knowledge is power. So the question is how much knowledge do you have? How much knowledge are you taking from a specific source? And even if you say, well, I checked around to several different news agencies, how many of these news agencies are getting all of their information from one source? More than anything else, just reacting and sharing puts you in the pockets of that particular news agency. You are doing exactly what they want. You are promoting it as something horrible and sharing it around to people so that they go to that news agency and they get paid. You are actually providing free advertisement. If you react to something without doing research, and particularly, as in the case of the second instance, without actually seeing what they're talking about, you're taking all of your information from that one source, and to somebody who knows what's going on and to somebody who does the research, there's a high likelihood that you're going to look foolish. Now, what do you think? How often do you do research into a story before you share it? How often do you look at things outside of the news story? How often do you just look at different news sources that tell the exact same story? I'm kind of curious, because I know a lot of different people, and a lot of different people do a lot of different things. So, by all means, leave a comment down below, send us a tweet or a post on our Facebook page, and let us know what you do to make sure that you know what's going on and that you take action before reacting. And, as always, thank you very much for watching. And stay tuned for more from Ollamh Productions.
If you wanna see
Cheerio!
and also lazy, then you should meet me and my friends. Even though we got
These are options that a YouTube creator has to have 100,000 subscribers to get. But hey, if you do their job for them, you can have it black. Can split Kryptonians into two separate entities. One good, one evil. Orange gives super abilities to